what's your favorite meal? Like if you could choose whatever meal you wanted, what would you choose? What's your go-to favorite dish?
Cheetah or jungle cat or something wild and ferocious and rare.
Pretty sure that's illegal. Where do you go? Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I feel like school age is like the time where we experiment with how we show someone we care about them, kind of experimenting with our love language, if you will. And so I was just wondering, like, when you were in like high school or college, like how did you show someone you cared about them? Like, how did you express your love for someone else?
You know, going out at night, shooting water balloons at the girls' dorm, or we once
Cool.
we put a big Mickey Mouse face up on the clock tower on the center of campus on homecoming Sunday, stuff like that.
What did Mickey have to do with it?
We just figured we'd kind of poke him in the eye.
Poke him in the eye?
Yeah.
Never mind. I lost track of my questions. Let me just take a minute to see if I can.
The best award would be the preaching award at my seminary, just because that was really important to me, called and gifted to do that.
Super great. If you could have like a superpower, like power of invisibility or X-ray vision or flying, like which superpower would you choose? What would be your superpower? Pastor Bryan's superpower.
So mowing the lawn, vacuuming, doing dishes. I love to make breakfast. I make breakfast 6 mornings a week, my whole life. Saturday's been pancake day.
Cool.
Yeah, I make these Swedish pancakes called pancakes Lucan. Just stack them really high. They're really thin. They slide down really nice.
You know what? You're absolutely right. If there's a superpower to be had, it better be a pancake superpower. This is the most sense I think you've made all interviews so far. So this can kind of sometimes be a sensitive subject for people, so I apologize. The people want to know. When were you born?
Revolutionary War America. Big George Washington fan.
1700s?
Alexander Hamilton, shaping the country.
You know, you look good.
Yeah.
You look good. You're doing very well. I'm very impressed.
And interestingly, preachers and pastors played a really important role in society then. I mean, they were taken seriously, they were movers and shakers, they were in the middle of important conversations.
So that's where you got inspired. That's when you got inspired to become a pastor in the 1700s. You kind of remind me of someone.
Wait, they said 50 years old.
Species age differently.
You look good. What have you always wanted as a pet?
Something wild. Cheetah bear. Oh, all right. Yeah, that's me when I was, I don't know, maybe 2 years old. My father was a pastor. We were living upstate New York, a little town called Farmers Mills. He was pastor of a little country church. That's the parsonage. They called me Butterball. Okay. I was fat, round, curly-haired, and I had a cat and a dog because there were no kids around. It was completely rural. Okay. This is my grandfather on my father's side, and my step-grandmother. He married again, and my grandfather's holding me when I was 1 or 2. It's the only time he ever held me, and I never knew him. He died shortly after that. So my father had a rough background. His mother left the family. He was raised by his dad in the Depression. Worked since he was 10 years old. I met his father came to visit me from Florida, and that was the last we saw him. That's kindergarten graduation, Highland Falls, New York. I was pretty proud of myself. The truth is I love school. I'm a school nerd. I love school, and so I've had the best life I could imagine, frankly, and feel really blessed that way. So I would say to that kid, man, go for it every day and make the most of every day you got, because God has great things in front of you. Life can be really hard and painful, but even though life can be really bad and people can be bad, God is always good. So don't confuse life or people with God. God is good, and I have learned that I can trust God. Even when I don't understand, even when I get angry with Him, even when I don't understand, as time goes by, as I study the scriptures, as I watch Him work in my life, I've just learned I can trust God. I can point people to God with confidence, saying, He will be there for you. Hang in there with Him.